Can you really put a price on Love? The Green Bay Packers did, and apparently it's $220 million over 4 years. Yes, Jordan Love is now tied for being the highest paid NFL player on an annual basis, cashing 55 million bones per year. But he's just the latest in a group of quarterbacks lining up for the biggest paycheck anyone's ever received for playing football. Trevor Lawrence shared the title with Joe Burrow by himself for just 43 days before Love joined the party. But where Lawrence had 50 starts and Burrow 43 before signing their contracts, Love had only 18, and really only 8 great games at the end of this past regular season. Now, those were a pretty fantastic 8 games, which included him throwing for 18 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a league-leading 2,150 passing yards. One person on Reddit extrapolated it over 16 games, and while 36 touchdowns and 2 picks for 4,300 yards is probably a stretch, it's that kind of momentum that inspires that sort of hope. Love completely turned his season around from a cold start. It culminated in him thrashing the Cowboys in the wild card and giving the Packers a real chance to beat the Lions in the divisional round. And yet, it's still a lot of money to give on the back of such a small sample size. Is he really deserving of the most recent massive contract? If you've been paying attention, quarterback contracts have outdone themselves every year for a couple off seasons now. Just last year, 4 different players were the highest paid player in the NFL before getting passed by another just days or weeks later. Even Jared Goff nearly crashed the party after signing a 4-year, $212 million deal. Good for $53 million per season, it cleared Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert's record-breaking deals from 2023. The Ringer's Steven Ruiz called it a market-setting deal for the sub-elite quarterback tier in the league. And in doing so, he urged us to look at the percentage of the salary cap that these different quarterback deals took up at the time of signing. As contract numbers rise, so does the salary cap. This past season, it grew from $225 million to $255 million, a 13.6% increase. And when we sort players by the cap percentage that their contract took up at the time of signing on SpotTrack, the picture starts to make more sense. Joe Burrow remains the highest paid by percentage at over 24% due to when he signed his deal last year. Meanwhile, Goff's 5th highest paid deal by dollar amount falls to 13th, just behind the recently secured Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. And I wonder if that extra $100,000 was personal. And when we get back to the subject of this video, Love, we see that he falls from tied for 1st to tied for 10th with Lawrence. It's still a lot of money, I'm not saying the opposite, but I do think that cap percentage view helps put the deal a bit more into perspective. By sitting Love for 3 years behind Rodgers, they got only 1 year to see what he was capable of before feeling it necessary to sign him to this extension. What they got last season was inspiring to many and made Bears fans wonder who had destined them to this eternal hell they must face every day. But it was also inconclusive. Say what you want about how the final 10 games went for Jordan Love, it was still only 10 games. The Packers are taking a chance by giving him this contract, hoping they'll be proven right. If Love is a future superstar, then in 3 years or probably even 2, it'll look like a steal, the way Patrick Mahomes' 11th highest per year contract can look like a deal to the naked eye. But if he's actually the Jordan Love from the start of the season, where he completed just 58.7% of his passes and Green Bay seemed out of contention, the move would set the franchise back and be the first time they wouldn't have a star behind center since 1992. The Packers are betting on the fact that Love actually put everything together at the midpoint of the season and then grew better each week afterward. I checked out Alex Rollins' 2-part Jordan Love series before writing this, and I thought it gave you a pretty good idea of how a lot of people felt about him when the team was 3-6, versus how they look at him now as the leader of one of the brightest young teams in the league. Rollins referenced how Love became more comfortable throwing intermediate and added variety to his passing chart while simultaneously calming down and improving his processing in the pocket. They're great watches, and I highly recommend them for deeper dives into Love's film last season. Another thing he gets at is how Love developed in the quick game as he got better reading both pre and post snap. In passes coming out in under 2.5 seconds, Love graded out as the 6th best quarterback this past year, and that's across the entire season. Oftentimes, playing well in the quick game is consistent year over year and can show you how well a quarterback can play within the offensive system. Love has made a good impression on that front. But where he's maybe made an even better impression has been in his ability under pressure. He's graded out as the 9th best quarterback in these situations, but towards the back half of the year he added a sort of fadeaway throw that turned him into your annoying coworker who posts on LinkedIn, seeing problems as opportunities. Rollins, The Athletic's Ted Wynn, and ESPN's Mina Kimes all called out how deadly adding this throw to Love's arsenal made him. Here's a play against the Vikings that we'll touch on to show that back foot throw, but I encourage everyone who's able to check out Wynn's deeper dive on it in The Athletic. The motion from the tight end and subsequent movement from Minnesota's safety to the opposite side of the field helps identify the defense as cover 2. Jaden Reed runs a skinny post into the soft spot of the zone from the 2 deep defensive backs and starts getting open as he passes the middle linebacker. Love doesn't see it at first, but locates him right as the pressure starts getting in his face. You can see him take this extra hop backwards and then launch off his back foot an absolutely perfect pass to his receiver, cutting into the middle of the field. It's just so wild to see him throw with so much power and accuracy while off balance like this, and it's a move he employed for more than just style points. Love had the 5th lowest pressure to sack rate in the league when under pressure, and some of that is a testament to his ability to extend plays with this move, even if it's just for tenths of a second. The thing about playing well under pressure, though, is that these stats and performances in those situations are typically seen as volatile, inconsistent from year to year. But I actually want to push back on that slightly. There can definitely be huge ebbs and flows from players, or in the case of Mac Jones, mirages. He graded as the 10th best QB under pressure in 2021, only to fall to 39th in 2022, and then 41st, otherwise known as dead last, in 2023. But when you look across the past 5 years, you often see a similar group of names in that top 10 of pressure grades. Guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers consistently performed well in these situations. And I think it's no coincidence that all of these guys who are under the age of 40 hold the top 5 highest salary cap percentages at the time of signing their deal. If Love can shape part of his identity around this fadeaway pass and become a rare quarterback who can actually be more powerful against pressure, he's going to cause a ton of problems for defenses and widen the margin of victory for Green Bay. And let's not forget, Love isn't the only young guy on this offense. The Packers were the youngest team in the league last year and will be one of the youngest again this year. There's a ton of area for this group to grow and develop together. And all the while, Love's high-level quick game will serve as a baseline, as the Packers bet that what he's doing against pressure and the poise he demonstrated at the end of the year will make him special. It can't be overstated that Love is getting paid a ton of money for how few games he's played in the league, but that's a credit to him, how Green Bay managed him, and the way NFL rookie deals are structured. After sitting for 3 years behind Rodgers, the Packers used up the majority of Love's cheap years to evaluate if they really wanted to go all in on him. His elite play last year, along with Green Bay heading into training camp without any other options for the position, made the idea of not paying him very uncomfortable. Sure, you'd prefer to hold out and wait through the first half of the season, but then what happens if you end up having to pay him even more and hurt the relationship at the same time? All this, combined with Love's gentle hold-in threat, put him in position to receive just the latest headline quarterback deal. Green Bay knows Love and what he's able to do better than anyone else does. Now it's on him to go out and prove their evaluation more than correct. If Love performs like he's shown he's capable of over the next 4 years, he'll make the Packers look like geniuses. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy it and consider subscribing to the channel so you can catch the next one. Thanks, bye.